A quick prelude before we get on with it. In this video I mentioned that the MERLE didn't have much in the way of decent studio recordings. Turns out I was wrong. As I was wrapping this one up, I found a treasure trove of some outstanding tracks recorded by Barrett Nichols. I'll be posting those to Patreon individually for subscribers over the next few months.
And the flame isn't looking for a spark.
And now, from PDX to the AVL. Moving to Portland, Oregon was a change I needed, and a chance to shed some North Carolina skin. I had a lot of songs saved up in my quiver, so this one, The Judge, turned into The Demon on the first Drunken Prayer album I recorded out there. I just slowed it down a little bit and changed the lyrics to match the mood of the time. Well, I slowed it down a lot.
The demon is green with envy. Desperate to fly me around on his back. No time.
To have a strong music scene, you need infrastructure. Affordable housing and places to play are pivotal, but promoters, record stores, writers, recording studios, and DJs, these are the things that build identity and camaraderie. As long as I've lived here in Western North Carolina, to this day, we've had solid support for the scene from local independent media. Cheap living, not so much. Almost Blue was a downtown record store owned by Brian and Susan Haynes. They featured local music and threw brilliant, sweaty shows in their basement bar. The Mountain Express was generously indulgent, and DJ Brent Robinson risked it all to give the MERLE an interview and play the 9-minute-long Sweetheart on WZLS Classic Rock FM. When I was growing up, my mom was part of an Asheville clique that called themselves the Asheville 1000. They made DIY movies and showed them in the downtown library, down in the basement. They worked for local media outlets like WLOS Television and the local paper, Citizen Times. And they hung out at Bill Stanley's Barbecue and Bluegrass Restaurant, and at McDib's in neighboring Black Mountain, where I saw my first show. That was Taj Mahal's solo on piano and guitar. Had a pretty big effect on me. And they threw outrageous parties like the Halloween Freakers Ball. There were a lot of backyard bands, too. On one North Asheville lawn, Dan Lewis's rockabilly group, Johnny and the Jokers, afforded your 14-year-old narrator the opportunity to play guitar on stage with a band for the first time. We stand on the shoulders of hillbilly giants. The Judge was recorded by Sam Bennett later on in the life of the MERLE as a single for the WNC compilation, The Decline of Western North Carolina, Volume 3. The Decline series was produced and promoted by Rob Best and Milton Carter. These two did way more for the toddling Asheville music scene than they get credit for. Besides releasing music comps and throwing massive punk rock weirdo shows, they published the wickedly funny Gank. The zine was assembled where they lived on the top floor of what's now the Wedge Brewery building in the River Arts District. For a while, that was the de facto clubhouse for nearly a dozen or so bands. The MERLE made precious few organized recordings. I still regret that most of our best work went undocumented. Back at Warren Wilson College, the original three-piece recorded a handful of songs on a 4-track cassette machine, and it's pretty fantastic. And then there's an album we did in a weekend called I've Set My Head on Fire. That was recorded at I think it's called the Onion Studio above Chicken Alley next to Cheap and Shallow Heights, some apartments downtown. Our only means of distribution were live shows and the aforementioned Almost Blue record store. We never had a lot of patience for the more tedious parts of the music business, including the recording process. We had a few missing pieces, and that was, unfortunately, one of them. The original songs we were doing when the MERLE imploded were amongst our most commanding. Inspired by a banana yellow Pontiac GTO parked on North Lexington Avenue, The Judge ended up as an apocalyptic country gospel song on amphetamines.
Heaven's not a pretty place to be, reflecting on your life eternity. Ain't no fun when you've been cold and you won't have no hand to hold. I wish there was a song that I could sing. Tell your daddy what it is you've done. You never ever meant.
And now, here's the third excerpt of the MERLE Manifesto.
The MERLE have been chosen to liberate youth from the evil moralities of commercialism and entertainment
by creating a true reality of holy fun.
The MERLE wishes to empower each member of its audience with a sense of his and her own individual truth, for this is the word in
Subverting the false reality of the man.
The man? The man.